Hello and welcome to the Invincible podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends gather and talk all things Invincible, a comic book and animated series created by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Ottley. I am one of your hosts, TJ, and joining me as always are my co-hosts, Bill.
Oh, it's Bill.
And Ryan, how are you, Ryan? How are you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you, TJ. I do have a little bit of a cold, but I'm doing all right.
No. Okay.
So Ryan's going to be the third chair while TJ and I do most of the talking, probably.
Yes,
and Ryan will
sit here, sip on my hot toddy, and interject with
hot toddy.
Oh yeah,
what is that? If that sounds like a Ryan thing,
it is.
Such a Ryan
it
thing.
is a hot cocktail made with honey, lemon juice, and whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
It just sounds really stupid.
It's because it's like ancient. It's a really old fashioned cocktail.
Sounds like something that would like be in the movie Grease or something.
No, it sounds like
older.
it would be
Something in
Great
like
Gatsby. Great Gatsby. Like
yeah.
Flapper, like
Totally.
Flapper.
See that?
Like, hey, yeah, can I get a hot toddy?
Definitely, it is absolutely that kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you can hear what's his name from the Nerdist podcast. He always had like the
He did.
He had the best AM radio like
Or like the what was it from Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, the announcer.
Yeah, the announcer guy.
Yeah, that whole thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, we are here to review and talk all about GrizzlyShark.
Mm-hmm.
That was voted on by the listeners on Twitter. Once again, no destroyer, which I think it's becoming a thing. And I'm here for it. I like it.
Don't make it a thing, because then it will absolutely be a thing if it's not a thing.
No,
the listeners just hate us, and that's fine.
No,
I
that's
hate
not what we
Destroyer.
talked about. It. There we go.
I hate it. I never ever want to read Destroyer,
And-
not because of the art. The art is great, and Corey Walker did amazing. It's the writing I hate. Robert Kirkman, ugh.
Yeah,
Terrible.
and you definitely haven't already read it.
No, absolutely haven't invested money and time. Nope.
Yeah. I will say that out of the four options, if it wasn't going to be Destroyer, no offense to the, all four titles are great, but was super excited to get back into GrizzlyShark.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk
man.
about that. But if you would like to be a part of the show, you can reach out to us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com, unless you're Mitch Krasson. In that case, no one wants to hear from you. You can also find us on our website, theinvinciblepodcast.com. Pretty easy to remember. Mm-hmm. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, we're everywhere. We're doing stuff. We are also the Oblivion Song podcast, in which our final episode and review of the final issue is coming out soon. The issue is currently slated for April 20th. And if that stays on track and doesn't get delayed, fingers crossed.
This might be the last time we record Invincible before an episode of Oblivion Song.
Unless it gets delayed.
That's sad.
Unless it gets delayed.
Unless it gets delayed. But if it doesn't, then that means our last episode reviewing issue 36 out of 36 will be on April 22nd. So keep an eye out for that. Maybe some cool surprises. Maybe not. We don't know. So, yeah. Not really anything in the way of Invincible news
It's been
month.
a pretty quiet month.
Yeah.
Month.
Corey
As
Walker
expected.
had a pretty fun. TJ, I think you shared that, right?
It's pretty great that he's been doing posts again. I almost don't want to call attention to it, because last time we did, it disappeared for like 6 months.
Yeah. Are we taking credit for that, for him getting too popular and then
No, it was right around the time that Kirkman said, if everybody go check it out and they'll reveal something. Yeah. And then everybody did, and then it stopped and went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did post some new stuff on his blog. If you want to check that out, you can go to his Twitter and click on the link in his bio. Some cool stuff on there where he talks about how he created, or like the original vision for Omni-Man and Invincible, which were not Omni-Man and Invincible. Mm-hmm. So cool stuff there. We've also been doing some commentary. The first 3 episodes we released of our own commentary while you are enjoying the animated series, episodes 1, 2, and 3. Those are out there right now.
I used to love, especially the Lord of the Rings commentaries on like DVDs and everything. And this is a thing that I feel like I don't really check out anymore. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, but I want to say it was Christopher Nolan that did it. Might have been Christopher Nolan. But anyway, someone recorded an audio commentary like this for you to go into the theater with a headphone in and watch the movie in theaters with their commentary. And I always like that. I always,
because I feel like that's something that is typically done, but you have to wait for the DVD or the Blu-ray to come out.
I wouldn't necessarily want my first experience.
No, it would be for second or third viewings and stuff like that.
It's their way of getting more
bingo
money.
Yeah, ticket sales.
Yeah, but we wanted to do something like this. We obviously did it with Sky High, and I want to say we even joked back then that we would be doing it for the Invincible animated episodes, and we overdid it. We indulged a bit much on the Invincible animated episodes when they first came out, so it was really exciting to kind of get to the point where it was a few months ago we were like, you know what, we really want to watch it, but let's wait till the 1 year.
It is time. But yeah, we did the first 3 episodes. We released those on the 1 year anniversary of the first episode. We're going to be doing the rest of the series. I don't know if we're going to be releasing them on the anniversary. Are we doing that? Is that what we're doing?
We're going to try.
We're going to try.
We'll talk, after this episode, and we'll try and time it out, because not only am I not feeling well, but I leave tomorrow morning to go on a trip for a week. So we'll see if we can squeeze in even remotely and get those other audio commentaries up. We definitely wanted to get the 3 on the anniversary of the first release date, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do them.
And we want
whether or not they're going to release on the 1 year anniversary of their original release date. We'll see.
And we like the idea of trying to get people into the chat, because we're watching them together over the Amazon Watch Party. And it's been fun kind of putting that chat link out there for people to watch along with us and jump into the chat and, give their thoughts.
Yeah, indeed. We also have been doing something that we started last episode, and I think we're going to continue doing, are some giveaways. Everybody likes free shit.
Yep. Not ready to announce the next one yet, but we do have to pick a winner for the first one. And thanks to Whatnot, we got our hands on a awesome variant cover from Tyler Kirkham, the trade dress version of Invincible. These look incredible. And we're going to give that away now. We asked everyone to go over to YouTube and leave a comment under our last episode. And we were going to draw from that. And there are 20 different comments in there. So 1 of 20.
Not bad odds. Not bad. I would
all.
still lose. I would still lose 100% of the time.
Probably.
If you're sitting there right now and you didn't comment and you're like, wow, only 20 comments, I wish I had commented. Well, now you know for next time. You're going to have more opportunities in the future.
All right. Here we go. I am going to be pushing the button on this
Keep in mind that
comment generator.
That Bill and I can't see the generator, but we're going to react when Ryan tells us what it is. You can see it if you're watching us on YouTube.
Hopefully, if I did this right, I might be able to get it in there. All right, here we go.
All right.
It's going.
So
I see Mike Carter's name.
Oh, man.
And Luis Cortez.
Hey, Luis.
All right.
Congratulations.
Their comment says, I hope Destroyer wins next.
You should have won.
The story was pretty cool, and I love Corey Walker's artwork. By the way, have you guys tried to get in an interview with Walker? It would be awesome to have him on the podcast. There we go. Thank you, Luis. And yes, actually, first of all, yes,
that's
Destroyer
a dream
is
of
great.
ours for sure.
We haven't
get Corey Walker on.
We haven't tried hard enough, I don't think. I would like to really try to. It's either going to be a great, or nothing's going to happen, or we're going to burn the bridge entirely because we tried.
If anybody
so hard.
has his home address and wants to send it to us, and we can go to his door and just knock on the and then ring the doorbell over and over, and then we'll get him. We'll get him.
Sir, do you have a comment? No, we will not do that. Yeah, but hopefully, I mean, maybe one day, maybe at Luca. Maybe if we go to Luca, TJ, and Bill, maybe because Corey Walker goes there.
True.
He's always going to be walking out of the room as we walk in.
Corey
It's going to be something like that.
Yeah, it would be. So yeah, congratulations. We'll get in touch and we'll get you that issue, and keep an eye out for future giveaways. We're hoping to do more of these things.
Cool.
Super duper. Now let's talk about GrizzlyShark. GrizzlyShark came out in, actually it was, excuse me, before I get ahead of myself, it was Sea Bear versus GrizzlyShark. It came out in 2010. That was the first appearance of GrizzlyShark. Mm-hmm. And that was a project that Ryan Ottley and Jason Howard decided to do together. Jason Howard, as you know, is the artist of, in the Kirkman universe, is known for being the artist of the Astounding Wolf-Man, which is one of our favorite side stories of Invincible, or spin-off series of Invincible. They decided to do it together, and it was just ridiculous and insane.
Yeah,
and
they it was like after a convention or something, they were just shooting the shit, and they were goofing off about how they would end up, like what would a shark be like on land, what would be in, then the bear would be in the ocean and all this stuff, and they decided to do it as like this little one shot, a black and white one shot where they each told their story. And one of my favorite things about it, I don't know if you guys got a chance to read it in that little one shot, was Robert Kirkman's origin story. Did you guys read that?
I didn't get a chance to read it, no.
Bill,
I just read the...
I feel like you need to read it on air because it is quite amazing. I'm going to find it and I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, when you sent it to us, didn't you already send it to us or no?
I did.
When you said read the first part, I thought you were talking about Sea Bear, which I also read.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the origin in the beginning, written by Robert Kirkman, is quite amazing, and I want to read it. I don't know if I can get through it, though. So
Bill, would you like to take that?
I'm going to send it over to you right now, Bill.
Yeah. As soon as it's sent over.
Filling the dead air, just
so
waiting. Bill, did you read the Sea Bear one?
I read all 3 issues.
Okay. So, there was the one that came out in 2010, which was GrizzlyShark versus Sea Bear, but the GrizzlyShark portion was, I believe, just the first part of the first issue of GrizzlyShark. So you didn't really miss anything there. But then I did read Sea Bear 2, which was also just as insane as GrizzlyShark. It
was, and was cool
and hilarious.
What was cool about that is that it was, it was obviously Jason Howard. So it was Jason Howard writing a Sea Bear story, which was very good.
And illustrating or
and illustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you'll have to check that out later, Bill, because it is really fun. It is really great. Because the idea was they were each, like, that was part 1 for each of them. And then Jason Howard just was too busy to do part 2, part 3. So Ryan Ottley,
he was doing trees because he does pencils, he does inks, and he does colors. Mm-hmm. So he was way too busy to continue it.
Yeah. So Ryan Ottley just...
You want me to read this?
This is long, Bill, but I think it's worth it, especially because you've never read it and TJ hasn't heard it. This is going to be very good. Now, Robert Kirkman insisted that he could write the origin for GrizzlyShark and Sea Bear. So this is the origin of their universe by Robert Kirkman, read to you by Bill Hake.
Okay. So, the origin of the bear and the origin of the shark by Robert Kirkman. So, an origin tale by Robert, in parentheses, Robert.
Yes,
Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman.
And lo, in the time before time was time and space was space. In the remote reaches of our universe, there was the planet Earth. It was not the Earth we know today. This Earth was very different. What we know now to be land was not land at all. And what we know now to be water was not water at all. What we know now as land was in fact water, and what we know now as water was in fact land. All of the land creatures all of the land creatures we now know existed in this time and lived their lives in water. All of the water creatures we know now existed in this time and lived their lives on land. And everyone was happy. And then came the time of the great reversal. It was a time of great calamity and upheaval. Many lives were lost in the transition, and still many more lives were forever changed forever. Mountains roared and oceans cried as the massive shift took place. What we knew then to be land became water, and what we knew then to be water became land. All of the animals of earth that lived in the water were suddenly made to live on land, and all of the animals of earth that lived on land were suddenly made to live in water. It was a time of great hardship as the great water creatures, the elephant, the wolf, and the bird were forced to live on land. And it was a time of great hardship as the great land creatures, the whale, the fish, and the dolphin, were forced to live in the water. But poor unfortunate bear and poor unfortunate shark, they got mixed up.
Yeah. Only Robert
God
Kirkman
damn it.
can take 2 sentences and turn it into 2 paragraphs. I love it because it says
really
nothing, but it says so much.
Ridiculous. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you, Ryan, for having us read that and experience it.
Thank you. So, just because Bill didn't get a chance to read it, in that little, I don't know what you'd call it, one-shot type thing. Jason Howard's Sea Bear was really fun. I actually really enjoyed that, and it gets really batshit crazy.
Yeah,
in a different way, and it's cool seeing like bits of Astounding Wolf-Man in there.
Does it get just batshit crazy, or does it get bear shit crazy?
Oh,
it really was just ridiculous though. Like him walking in and being like, "Hey man, I need to run a boat," and the guy turning around and being like ripping his face off and being like,
and he's a bear.
Yeah. It was really good. It's definitely worth reading.
Yeah, and then I'm going to spoil it for you, Bill. I'm going to spoil it for you, Bill. And then for him to at one point just be like, "Get ya!" and he's a cyborg and he's got blades for hands.
The bear does?
No, the man, the regular man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It was awesome. It was very, very good. I enjoyed it too. So, Bill, what are your initial thoughts rereading GrizzlyShark?
Oh my God. The best thing about GrizzlyShark is the fact that Ottley wrote it, obviously, but also that he did the letters. So when you're reading it, like, just it's a very personal, like, it's just you could tell that he's sitting there writing the most ridiculous thing ever and trying to make it as absurd as humanly possible. It was so much fun. All of the stupid sound effects, like everything had a sound effect, and it was
every time it was munch. Every time, it was just munch.
Yeah, dude. And all like there's points in the comic where it's like a montage of different people bleeding. Like a girl has her period because the shark can smell blood, right? So swatting a mosquito. The girl has her period, I think, is the funniest one. Oh my God, the cannibal baby.
Yeah.
That like it just keeps getting more and more and more absurd and ridiculous, and I loved every second of it. And the end, the collision of GrizzlyShark and Sea Bear.
Dude, that fight scene.
The fight,
it's so good.
There is a part in it, where and if you're listening to this, it's the thwap of sand. When GrizzlyShark
it's when they first get together. Like Sea Bear tackles him to the ground, and they're the first time that they're on land, and then Sea Bear.
There's sound effects to everything. Like his flipper in the sand is like shuffle, 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 and you're like, what is he doing? And that his fin like thwaps the sand into Sea Bear's eyes. Oh my God, guys.
That whole sequence of events, and then him like yelling at the bear to do something about it, and it's just him sitting there staring at him. He's like, "Oh nope, sorry, you were doing fine," but then like grabbing the shark by the tail, throwing him, like the pulling the branch back,
throwing him onto the boat with the father and the son
in the middle of nowhere. Like, how did you miss the ocean?
Yeah, and then the son being like, "It's okay, Dad, I have the gun." And the dad's like, "No, you can't just use the gun." And then he sees the bear and the shark, and the father takes the gun and puts it to his own head. And the son's like, "Dad, no, what are you doing?" He's like, "Damn it, son, let me die." Because it's his worst nightmare.
Like the shark driving the boat back all bloody, just like smiling.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. So,
ridiculous.
TJ, what? I mean, we all kind of just started talking about it. but
it was so much better than I remember it. I don't remember liking it as much. I remember loving it, but I don't remember liking it as much as I enjoyed it rereading it the second time. It was so much funnier than I thought it was going to be. I wrote down my favorite moments of it started raining and it was washing all the ice cream off of them, which the sharks can't stand the smell of
cinnamon
and the guy who was
gummy bear.
The cinnamon gummy bear. The sharks didn't like that, so it was washing that off their bodies. And he goes, "Oh, it's okay. Sharks probably can't smell through water." I thought that was really funny.
That is good.
I like what's her name, Lorraine or Loretta or whatever her name was. Like it was just chaos going, and it was. I was reading it so quickly because it was such chaos, and then she gets her body gets eaten, and she just looks up at the other people and she goes, "Fly, you fools!"
Yes. Oh my God, some of the references are so good.
The first appearance of Sea Bear out of the water, and what's his name? The dumb guy, John Bobby.
Yeah,
John Bobby.
Yeah.
John Bobby looks up and he goes, "Bunny." I thought that was really funny. And then we talked about flapping the sand in Sea Bear's face, but those are definitely by far my favorite moments. Yeah, so good.
And Ryan Ottley in an interview with IGN actually said that, you know, one of his favorite things about it was all those little montage moments of it cutting away. And I love in the second one, there's the guy driving the bus after, of course, the two people that get into a car accident. But then the guy driving the bus and he's reading the text, and the text is like a page long, and it's all about how you probably shouldn't be reading this right now. Yeah.
Maybe I should send this later because it's probably not a good idea for you to be reading this while you're driving, and it's just going on and on and on.
Yeah, so good. that part, like, oh my God. So the bus slams sideways into a boulder that fell. All of the people in the bus are jettisoned out. And then it's a full page of the people flying on one side, and then all of the sharks on the other side. Like, oh my God, guys, how much fun!
It's just so ridiculous.
And
like literally,
and I agree with what you said, TJ. Like, I liked this a lot more this time than reading it the first time. Yeah. I think because you have to really know what you're in for, because it's out there. It's out there. It's brutal. It's gory and it's disturbing, but it's making fun of that stuff.
This came out in 2010 too, and we were still like kind of getting into comics, and we didn't really. We were still. Oh, this was. But
the one shot was 2010.
Right, the one shot was 2010. So
this came out in 2016.
Pretty sure. Hold on, let me double check.
No way.
Yes. The full GrizzlyShark did. Yeah. GrizzlyShark did, and GrizzlyShark Returns, and Sea Bear versus GrizzlyShark. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't seem right? 7 years ago?
It seems like it was at least 10 years ago.
I know, isn't that weird?
7 years ago? So this came out around the end of Invincible?
Yeah, April 2016. It's in the back, or in the issue. I'm looking at it.
But GrizzlyShark...
He was still writing Invincible, yeah.
GrizzlyShark is... The first one-shot is the first half of this... of this issue, of the first issue. So,
and I don't remember reading that one-shot in black and white.
I think I feel like I do. I feel like we were excited about it because we were on Invincible by then. We started reading Invincible long before that. We were reading Haunt around this time, so we definitely read this. And I remember like expecting, because we were young and dumb and stupid, that it was going to be more similar to something that Kirkman would do. And I think that's what we were expecting, and we loved it. But I think that's why, Ryan, like you're saying, reiterating what you're saying, we enjoyed it even more now because we knew going back into it just how ridiculous it was. It feels like it's being written by a kid, but being written very well. So
that guy getting his the boy chopping his dad's hand off with the axe.
I was just reading that part. Like,
I mean, that's a Walking Dead reference, right? It's the same kind of hatchet.
I guess so. Did he get his hand? I thought he got his hand cut off with a machete. Was it an axe?
Oh, you're right. No, you're right, because it was an axe that he would always use, and for some reason I was thinking it was his same axe.
Right at the jump, though, you got this teenager or boy, I guess, get half his body chopped off, and his father is like, well, we have to cauterize the body, so he throws his son, his entire body into the fire. Just totally ridiculous right from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! And the part where he hadn't peed in days.
That's probably my least favorite part.
It's the most disgusting part of the whole thing, and I would agree. It's like, oh, too far. I don't know. But like the pee just shoots out of his like
sack,
his torso, whatever sack he's got.
Yeah. That was pretty gross.
Yeah,
but
just ridiculous.
Overall, I mean, Ryan Ottley just. I don't know, man. You could just tell that he was laughing the whole time that he was writing it.
And yeah, he definitely had a lot of fun. And just, oh my God, The Rock. I've never been more crushed. And then the boulder falls on the woman walking her dog. And then you later see that boulder is what those cars crash into.
The bus hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it how anytime someone gets eaten, it is how he managed to draw parts of them. Whether it be the one guy, the one guy blowing smoke on the guy's cut. That one bothered me. But like anytime you see him, the shark eating someone, how he takes like bites at a time, or like you'll see just the front half of them, or just their eyes or something. Like the way he managed to draw that was really cool.
Yeah, it's always like it's always like a side-by-side panel. So it's the panel of like a whole family right here, and then the next panel is the shark already taking a bite out of him, and like, you know, you got half of the mom's head is here, and then like, you know, it's a perfect shark.
The way he dissected people in interesting ways was
and fun and interesting.
There was thought. There was thought put in there.
Just the lips. Yeah,
it's what he loves to do, and it's what he's best at is gore and craziness. I also love the part where they have the baby by the string, and the shark jumps out, and they're like riding the shark with a whole stampede of sharks behind them, and they're just holding the baby out in front of the shark. But that was good too.
It was definitely a like Jurassic Park type thing with them in the long grass. You know, them setting a trap with that guy. Yeah. It was definitely a ton of fun.
I definitely want, hopefully one day, Ryan Ottley to go back to GrizzlyShark and do some more, maybe more with Jason Howard.
I really wish Jason Howard would be able to finish Sea Bear. I know it might not be worth doing, but that first issue was a lot of fun. I'd like to see what, because it set up some things. There's a little bit of a cliffhanger there. I'd like to see what Jason Howard would have done with an issue 2 and 3, and then to get those colored. That would be really, really cool.
Guys,
I would like that.
So at the end of issue 3, when I was sad when Sea Bear died, when he got his head chomped on. Like, I wanted him to win. I really did. He was a hero, but
I thought he was going to come back.
Yeah. So it's the page. Together. It's the little things that make me laugh out loud. And so the shark bites the grizzly bear's face, or Sea Bear's face, and then the two guys, John Bob and what's the he has no legs, whatever his name is. They're running, and the one panel of the shark going grr and sidestepping out of a bush, like just the way that the lines are drawn, so you know that he's just like
sliding,
coming into frame. So fucking awesome.
I didn't plan this at all either, but I'm wearing like a Battle Bear t-shirt today.
Oh, you are.
Oh wow, look at that.
So I was gonna see. I was thinking about putting this on Twitter, or I was going to ask you guys, and I never got around to it. And then I thought about it a little, and it was very hard. I was going to see if you guys can come up with 2 animals that would mix in a fun way. So animals that have 2 words. But ironically, a lot of them are like sharks and bears, like tiger shark, hammerhead shark, polar bear, grizzly bear. Like, and I didn't want it to be another shark and bear. But the best thing I can come up with was... Hold on a second. It was a mountain lion and a flying squirrel.
So it would be mountain squirrel
and flying lion.
And flying lion?
Yeah, and I really like that. I want to see mountain squirrel. It's just this beastly squirrel that's like...
No, it would have to be a normal-sized squirrel.
You're right. You're right. You're right. It would be a normal sized squirrel, but it would just live in the mountains.
And then flying lion, it would be a full grown lion, but in the trees, like chewing nuts.
Yeah, and it would leap from tree to tree. It would never touch the ground or something. Yeah, that was the best one I could come up with. Yeah. If you've got one, send it to us. I want to hear it.
You know what? This might be a good opportunity for you to put it in the comments of our YouTube video.
There you go.
There you go. Speaking of listener interaction, I think we have some emails.
We do have an email. We have an email from Mitch about GrizzlyShark.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, TJ.
Yeah, so, I mean, he knew not to email the Invincible podcast, so he sent it in a letter to my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
So I would read it.
Stamped it.
Hey, squad. First of all, I want to claim my rightful title as the GrizzlyShark influencer on this Twitter poll. I've never read it and saw literally only the cover of it and wanted to do it. It sounded too stupid to not be fantastic. I actually went and read it, and I didn't like it, LOL. DJ, how mad are you right now?
I don't know. Carry on, please.
I actually went and read it and didn't like it. The biggest thing was that it seemed like a book that had gore, and that was the main reason the book exists. To me, Invincible has it for a purpose, but this just wasn't for me. Also, not knowing anything, I legit expected a shark that walked around on grizzly legs and had grizzly arms. Not sure why, but that was my comical interpretation of it. Anyway, maybe Destroyer will happen next time. Still don't know what that one is either. Mitch Krassen. Love
So
Mitch.
basically, what he's saying is that he is the sole reason why we didn't do Destroyer, because he's taking personal credit for the reason why we're doing
And
it.
it was a close.
Grizzly
It
Shark.
was close.
And he didn't even like it.
Well, I'm glad he read it. And Mitch, if what TJ and I have to say is any consolation, read it again in like 5 years, and I think you'll like it.
Just read it, or just read it again now. Like knowing that it's ridiculous,
knowing that it is a comedy. It is a comedy first and foremost. It looks like a mature, gory kind of like thriller or something, but like it is first and foremost a comedy. And
it would be like going into Austin Powers expecting a James Bond movie and expecting it to be like really good, and then Austin Powers happening. So I can get how, but I mean, it's GrizzlyShark. Like what were the expectations? Like, I don't know. There to be some crazy like
more
awesome
depth
story.
of character,
Yeah.
more emotion.
That sucks. I'm sorry you didn't like it, but you will.
And there were, and I forgot to bring this up earlier. There were actually around this time some fun Invincible references that were made. TJ, you probably know more than I do because it's on the cover that I think you own. Is it right behind you? No, you used to own this page. It was a final page of an issue. It showed Baby Terra, and it was Mark saying, I think it's time we left Earth, that whole thing. Yep. And on the floor, I want to say that's when there was a shark and a bear. I might be wrong, because I might be thinking of the cover to...
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm right?
You're right.
Because I think it's also...
They were definitely plushies. Yeah, they were stuffed animals.
I'm also
toys.
Picturing the cover of issues something... 68? I don't know. It's the one with Immortal and Kate's kids on the cover, and they're playing with toys. And there might be a shark and bear reference there too.
One. Yeah, it might be.
Either way, it's it's in the kids' rooms. It's usually in kids' rooms where there's the shark and bear.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Ryan, you have an email.
I do. This comes from Travis. Travis says, "Hey Bill, Ryan, and TJ. And I had to chop this down a little bit, Travis. It was a bit long, but I'll get there. I just finished the second volume of Radiant Black. Wow, and congratulations. Let me start over. I have been an avid listener and enjoyer of your podcast for some time now. Since I liked that episode with Kyle Higgins, he purchased it, and after reading it, I was pleasantly surprised by a special cameo by the Circle Guy News. What? No way, I said out loud. Even without your image, see what I did there, being added to it, I liked Radiant Black enough to pre-order the second volume. Bringing us back to the beginning of my letter, I love the co-creator episodes you guys are doing currently, and it was great to meet Riker. Now for the real reason I'm contacting you. With the Super Dinosaur Show, when the Super Dinosaur Show premiered on Amazon in 2018, I watched all of it to give Kirkman the views in some way to help Invincible along. That's what I told myself. Afterwards, I thought, with Angstrom Levy on the horizon, why not have Invincible arrive there instead of Spider-Man's world like he did in the comic? You can have a funny moment where Dinosaurus is introduced to Invincible and be like, "Oh, hi, do you know Derek?" And suddenly Dinosaurus attacks Invincible like a rabid raptor or something. My question to you, gentlemen, is, with Angstrom's powers and licenses be damned, where would you want Invincible to meet up with and or team up with? Or who? My meetup would be Bruce Timm's near-perfect Batman show with Kevin Conroy and Mark saying the classic, "Your name is just lazy" speech. Thanks for continuing to create great content that fills my hour commute to my job. You guys rock, mainly because you have TJ, who's the...
Oh, it's the sweet one.
Travis. P.S. Are you guys planning on going to New York Comic Con this year?
I don't know.
We are undecided. We've had discussions, but we need to have further discussions on that.
We do. There might be other conventions in play, but we'll see. But we definitely want to make it to at least one convention this year. Mm-hmm. We'll let everybody know.
And when we decide, we'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely, because we want to hang out with as many people as we can, see people. It's been so long. As soon as Invincible really started to take off, the pandemic happened, and I mean, as far as the show and everything. And we're excited to see everybody, all the new fans.
Indeed.
But as far as let's stick with animated series. What animated world would you want Invincible to pop into via Angstrom Levy portal?
I mean, he stole the answer. I mean, that is there isn't really. I mean, there is a definitive answer there, and he took it. So aside from that, man, it's tough not to just go like Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say Batman Beyond. I feel like that would be a better fit tonally, because he and Terry would have some really fun banter.
Yeah,
I feel, and Terry McGinnis in his bat suit would actually, pose some sort of not threat, but he could actually hold his own against Invincible a little bit. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
It also feels
series I don't think he'd do well in Avatar.
Yeah, it also feels obvious to say 90s Spider-Man. I feel like one that's a safe bet, if anything, would be something in the Boys universe with their animated series going on. Seems pretty easy, but
Yeah. So speaking of Batman Beyond, sorry to segue. I'm pretty sure Curse of the White Knight, the Batman Beyond one, comes out tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Because we're recording this Tuesday, so I
think it's supposed to, and I think it's still slated to. One thing that's a little weird, though, is that he put on his Instagram that he's releasing this summer.
Maybe
but Comixology still says tomorrow. So as of this recording, so if you're listening to this, it should be out now. But we'll keep an eye out for that.
I don't
tomorrow,
know if I read the last thing in that universe.
What?
Yes, the Harley Quinn. What was it, Harley Quinn?
The Harley Quinn one.
Oh, I didn't read that one either.
Yeah. Because the last one was Ezreal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh,
I have an email from Jacob Goodhart. What a lovely name.
I know. I love when Jacob writes in, because it's he's got such a good heart.
He's a guy. He's
oh man, that was.
Dear Invincible Podcast, I've been enjoying the latest episodes and exploring other works by the creators of Invincible. I've read a few other things by Robert Kirkman, like Brit and Tech Jacket, but I didn't even know about his other series outside of a mini-series about Jubilee of the X-Men. My question for you guys is this. If you could see Kirkman write any comic book today, regardless of publisher, who would it be? Personally, I'd love to see him write Spider-Man. Spidey is my favorite superhero, and Kirkman is able to balance the super heroic and the mundane amazingly. It's why when I first started reading Invincible, I advertised it to my friends as Spider-Man meets Superman. And with Ryan Ottley drawing it, it would be just like its title. Sorry, I'm blind here. Plus how the romance between Mark and Eve was I'd love to see him do Peter and MJ some justice. Thanks, Jacob Goodhart. I feel like my answer is always going to just be
Batman.
Batman all the time.
Yeah.
It's always just going to be Batman.
I think there's room. Like the White Knight and Curse of the White Knight is my favorite Batman stuff because it's like the ultimate universe of it, and I feel like Kirkman could do something really fun like that. I think there's a lot of depth and there's a lot of opportunity to Kirkman-ifies Batman.
I kind of feel the same way about that as I do about like X-Men though, which he did do a little bit in Ultimate X-Men, but like it's also something that's been so done, and I don't know if there's it's almost too big to put the Kirkman spin on it in a way. I almost feel like I'd lean more towards what he's actually talked about in the past with something like Transformers or something that I don't have a big attachment to, but I could see him taking this thing that he's clearly passionate about and turning it into something that like I fall in love with because because I know so little of it.
Yeah.
So him like, introducing all these crazy characters and putting a cool spin almost.
Wouldn't it be cool if he did if he wrote and produced and not directed obviously, but like a Transformers TV show, like an animated show?
Yeah.
Could you imagine like Transformers by Kirkman? Like Beast. Did you guys watch Beast Wars?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Isn't that technically the next Transformers movie to come out?
Yeah, it fucking is. But I could just die if Kirkman did a Beast Wars.
Rat Trap.
Oh my god.
Cheetor or whatever.
Yeah.
And I loved that show. It's so funny seeing those early 3D animated shows like Reboot and everything, and how janky the 3D was back then.
Yeah, but
it was
Beast
still
Wars,
it had an aesthetic though. Like it had that style. Yeah.
God, I remember watching it when I was a kid, just being like floored. Like, holy shit, this is the future.
Yeah.
And even still, like watching it now, I feel like I'm transported back to being that young. So it still looks good to me. Like it doesn't look bad. I'm still impressed by it. I'm like, Riker, look at these graphics, and he's like, ugh.
Really?
What? Yeah.
I don't see it as much as I do with Reboot, but yeah, it's a little rough.
Reboot, Reboot hasn't aged very well, but.
And Beast Wars got really weird. It was like season 3 or something like that. The style changed a bit, and everything got super shiny and futuristic.
Yeah. Well, no, that was really good stuff. What? Because they found like more energon or something like that, or what was it? Was it energon?
That sounds right.
Right, the crystal and that's why they had to stay in beast form because otherwise it overloaded them. But when the show changed from Beast Wars to Beast Machines, do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And the animation, it was no longer computer generated, like it was actually drawn. But they went back to Cybertron and the planet was completely taken over.
No, maybe I didn't watch that actually.
You don't remember? Oh man,
no, it was still the stuff I'm referring to. It was still the CG, but they were just all metal.
Yeah. Optimus was like a big jet.
Yeah.
A jet and yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Sure.
There we go. What else you got for us, Ryan or TJ?
I think that does it for emails and so on. Keep an eye out over on Twitter. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing another co-creator, but if we are, we'll put the vote up like usual. Let everyone decide on anything other than Destroyer, of course, because that's just the way it goes. We have a few minutes because this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but if there's anything you guys want to talk about, whether it be a movie, video game, TV show, I beat and platinumed and 100%ed Ghost of Tsushima.
You platinumed it?
Oh, yeah.
And 100%ed it?
Everything. I did everything except Legends mode. I am excited to still do some more of that multiplayer mode, but that game was probably the best version of a like Assassin's Creed style game. I of course loved Assassin's Creed Odyssey and also 100% of that game, but this, as far as gameplay, visuals, story, was a more full package. Even though I prefer the world of Odyssey more, this was just an incredible game. I absolutely loved it. So, and Katie and I also finished It Takes Two, which I am begging everyone to play. Like TJ, Bill, our other friends, like
I bought it.
Did you try it yet?
I haven't played it at all. I bought it for me and Liz to play, but
you guys should definitely play it. It is a lot of fun. It's some of the best gameplay, and it's such a great co-op game. So that was a lot of fun. Finished that up. Yeah. How about you guys?
I beat Horizon Forbidden West. I did not 100% it, but I'm still playing it. It surprised me. Like, as far as sequels go, I feel like I wasn't expecting much like zany, crazy story stuff to happen, but they took ideas from the first one and just expounded on them, and the story surprisingly was the best part. Like,
which is interesting that I've been hearing, because like I'll hear one of two things. I'll hear, yeah, it's more of the same gameplay wise, but then when people talk about story or anything, they're like, yeah, it goes places. And it's like,
yeah, like I
which is exciting, and I don't want to know, and I don't want to know because
spoil it.
After playing the first one and its DLC, the gameplay is what hooked me more than anything. I don't even remember much of the story. I get the little bits of it, but the gameplay was just it felt so good.
Yeah, and it's equally as good. There are really stupid things that I hated that they changed. Like, I don't like when a game gives you a million fucking weapons to use but only like 4 slots. I hate it.
Even in the first one, I never used the slingshot thing. Like,
dude, I'm never
use
going
that
to
constantly.
But that's why they exist, is because it will latch onto someone else. But if you can
this was literally like, you know how your bow, you could get a really powerful bow and then you can get different ammunitions for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you'd upgrade. This was like fire bow, electric bow, and you had to have different bows for each element that you wanted to use, and I hated it. So you could have like 50 fucking bows and use one the entire game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I played Dying Light 2. That was just, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I give it like a 7 out of 10.
All right.
But my Steam Deck is coming. I got the confirm your order, finish paying for it thing yesterday, and it says shipping soon.
Very
so
nice.
I should have that very shortly. And
cool.
I saw some things and been watching some things. I saw the movie The Lost City.
How was it?
With Sandra Bullock and
Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and so when I was watching it, I completely forgot that Brad Pitt was in it. He was the best part of the movie.
He looked like he was going to be the best part, and when they showed him in the first trailer, like it wasn't even like 3 trailers later or anything. It was the first trailer he shows up, and I was like, he's going to steal the show. He looks ridiculous.
He was hands down the best part.
Was it good, TJ?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good. Bill, I think that you will probably like it even more than I did. And Ryan, you'll enjoy it too. Like I really like it a lot.
Will like Liz like it? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's that type of movie where it's not like cheesy, but it's
campy.
Like it's not like that. It's like I don't know. It's very good. It's very good.
All right, cool.
But it's funny. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. You also saw Batman again in 4DX, right?
Yes, with the seats that move and they're spraying like fog and they like spray you in the face with like water and shit. It's like crazy.
I still need to try that out sometime.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely 4DX. I would never recommend that for the first time watching a movie. If you're watching like Jungle Cruise for the first time, watch it in 4DX. Awesome. If you're watching The Batman or something that you really want to like sit there and enjoy the story, it's a second watch type movie or experience, watch type of experience. But no, I'm definitely glad I did it, and it was very cool, and it was a lot of very shocking moments that things that they put into the theater to add to the experience. It was cool.
Nice.
There's a show that the three of us watched. I think it came out like 2 or 3 years ago on Prime Video called Undone.
Yeah.
And it's coming out with a season 2. And I rewatched season 1, and it was phenomenal.
Oh, I need to rewatch season 1. Have you watched season 2 yet, TJ?
We did. The three of us did get some access to an early screening of season 2, and I'm 2 episodes in.
Is it good?
Holy shit!
Okay,
really?
Cool.
Shut up.
All right, I'm just gonna say this.
No.
It like expands what the show is capable of.
Oh my god! Stop it! That show
is so good. The first episode of season 2. Holy shit!
That show engulfed like my whole life. Like I would just sit for days and think about what I saw for days.
Just so people have context to this too, the first season they're 25-minute episodes, and I believe there's only 8 of them, and it's a little over 3 hours if you just sit there and watch every episode all the way through and you watch it like a movie. It's a little over 3 hours. You can binge this thing in like
maybe
2
I'll
days
rewatch that
no
like
problem.
while I'm on the plane and everything like that.
You're definitely gonna want to watch it like that. Like don't watch one episode and then wait fucking 2 weeks to watch another one, because
if you're gonna watch it, watch it within a course of a couple days. And for you guys, definitely rewatch I'm glad that I rewatched the first season. You have to. You absolutely have to.
There's
because just based on what the show is, it does a lot of callbacks and all that stuff. So
have you guys watched Severance? No. So it's a new Apple TV show where there's a job where once you get promoted to a certain floor, you have to undergo the procedure called severance.
It looks good.
Which you can, when you leave work, you can't remember what you do or anything about your job, and when you enter work, you don't know anything about your home or anything like that. You literally
builds productivity.
You literally
what?
Like he goes up in an elevator and he has literally no recollection of what just happened. The guys
do they do some cool Memento type shit?
They do things where you think about it and you're like, wait a minute. If I were the version that's stuck at work, Ryan, imagine opening the door to work and when you leave, the next thing you remember is walking into work. You don't go home. You literally just live at work. Or you live at home. Like and the way that they did it was genius. I only watched the first episode, but the way that they showed someone leaving and coming back really quick.
So this can be any genre. What is it? Is it comedy? Like they can make that into anything. Is it thriller? Is it drama?
What I saw
horror?
Is not a comedy. What I saw in the first episode was a fucking nightmare.
Jesus.
It's not horror, but it's
thriller.
Like as an adult, it gave me the highest level of anxiety that I could have.
Oh wow.
And I don't want to spoil it and tell you why, but
I have a friend that I wasn't going to. It looked amazing, but once someone tells me that it's just I just never watch whatever or read or play that thing that they tell me. That
watch the first episode, TJ. Watch the first episode.
And I have a friend at work who told me that he just watched the first episode and it was just so I wasn't planning on watching it. But now that you say it's good, I will check it out. I will.
We have such a spoil of riches and just overload of 100%. Media and content and stuff out there that all it takes is for one random person to be like meh, and it's like nope, moving down the list of things to do, and that's unfortunate that's it the way it is, but also we got a lot of cool stuff to consume.
Blade Runner 2049 is on Netflix and it is number 3 right now in the country, which makes me so happy.
It's such a great movie. It really is.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Saga, new issue came out last week. I finally read it today.
I didn't read it. I didn't even know it came out.
It's so good. It's Saga.
I got to get back into my reread. I was left off like a little further than halfway. And I put it down and I got to pick it back up.
Yep. And obviously Radiant Black, if you are hearing this, you should go get the latest episode of latest issue of Radiant Black.
Might be something cool in there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good
one. So that does it for this episode. If you should be hearing our outro song by our good friend Wyatt Layne.
He does make good sounds.
Yeah,
he makes good sounds.
Outro sound. He's been doing.
He
the
is
outro
the sound
sounds.
of the Invincible podcast and the Oblivion Song podcast.
Yeah, lots of sounds.
You can find him over on SoundCloud and Apple Music and Spotify and other things. He's also on Twitter. Check him out. Keep an eye out on our Twitter, where you can find our poll for what is potentially the next episode and what we're going to be reviewing next. And you can vote on that, whether it be Destroyer or something else if you hate us.
That's right.
Anything else?
That's it. That does it. Thank you guys for listening.
All right. Okay, see you next month.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.